Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible? Please, anyone? Am I audible? Please write on the chat box. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our today's e-learning workshop on managing content and assessment with e-learning management system. So this workshop focused on enhancing your understanding of the essential components for managing online courses effectively. This workshop is designed to equip you with practical knowledge and tools that align with current best practices and standards in e-learning management. So throughout our session, we will cover a comprehensive range of objectives that are essential for creating a structured and engaging learning experience for students. These objectives include e-course components, where we will explore the fundamental components required to set up and maintain a successful e-learning course. You will learn about the essential building blocks that create a structured learning pathway for students. Next is our system, organize the homepage in the system. So the course homepage serves as a central hub for learners. So I will guide you through strategies to make it visually appealing, user-friendly, and organized, ensuring students can easily navigate to key resources. Next is system content management. So effective content management is crucial to ensure that resources are accessible, up to date, and organized. So I'll discuss various content management standards and practices, allowing you to maintain and update course materials seamlessly. Next objective is managing activities in the system, like engaging learners through activities fosters a dynamic learning environment. So I'll review the tools and strategies you can employ to manage assignments, discussions, and interactive elements to maintain student engagement and track progress. Next is our managing evaluations, like accurate and fair evaluations are vital for assessing learner progress. So I'll cover the standards and best practices for creating and managing assessments, quizzes, and feedback system to ensure students receive constructive and timely feedback. So by the end of this workshop, you will have a solid foundation in managing e-learning courses, setting up an organized system, engaging learners through activities, and conducting effective evaluations. So these skills will enable you to create an online learning environment that supports student success and aligns with professional e-learning standards. So let's have a look in Arabic also. What are the objectives for today's workshop? Okay, so let's start with the definition of e-learning, like it employing educational information and communication technologies to raise the efficiency of the educational and training process in all its forms and to control its quality. So now I want to discuss about the advantages of the e-learning, like flexibility and effectiveness in e-learning, which is online or flexible learning approaches can adapt to different students' needs, helping improve their understandings. The opportunity for education for all and the permanent provisions of content, which means digital platforms can make education accessible to everyone, everywhere, anywhere with resources available long term. Consolidation and the consolidation of learning, for example, repeated exposure to materials and activities strengthens students' grasp of content. Next is over saving time and money. Like online learning can reduce cost associated with travel, materials, and time. Continuous assessment, like digital platforms allow for ongoing assessment and feedback, tracking progress more frequently. Environmental preservation, like digital learning, reduces the need for printed materials, lowering environmental impact. Quality educational materials, like resources, can be vetted for quality and updated regularly in a digital format. Last is the diverse teaching and learning methods, which is like technology offers new strategies and tools that traditional classroom settings may not, enhancing learning experiences, etc. So learning management system, it is an integrated electronic system that provides a set of interactive services for managing and creating courses, learning tools and tests, tracking the learner during his or her educational journey, and providing reports to all parties involved in the educational process. So like we are using the Blackboard learning management system here in our university. Now let's start with the first objective of our workshop, which is the e-course component. So this diagram illustrates the essential component of an e-course along with the emphasis on quality standards. Each component contributes to a comprehensive, well-structured online learning experience. So here is a breakdown. For example, this is first one is an introduction, which provides an overview of the course, its purpose and structure to orient learners. Second one is the goals, which outlines the learning objectives and outcomes that students are expected to achieve by the end of the course. Next is our content. The core instructional material, such as lectures, readings, and multimedia resources, and conveys the subject matters. Next is our educational materials, additional resources such as handouts, guides, and references, materials, and supports which support the main content and enhance learning. Next is our learning activities like interactive tasks, exercises, or assignments that allow students to apply what they have learned and engage with the material actively. Next, feedback, like a mechanism for students to receive constructive input on their performance, helping them understand their progress and areas of improvement. And the last one is your calendar, very important dates, deadlines, and milestones to keep learners organized and on track. So if you see at the center of this image or diagram, statement highlights continuous development and application of quality standards. So what is this? Actually, it is underscoring the importance of the maintaining high standards in each component for an effective learning experience. So this setup aims to ensure that every element works together to support structured, engaging, and meaningful online learning. So let's have a look in Arabic also, the same diagram. Okay. So based on the previous slide, there are some standards for the electronic course approved by the National Center of E-Learning that must be available in any electronic course, which are, for example, e-learning standards for higher education in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. These standards were approved by the decision of the Board of Directors of National Center for E-Learning. So first, I'll discuss about the standards for entities. So this table presents a quality control checklist for e-learning programs detailing requirements for both basic, which is required for license, basic or mandatory, and advanced, which is here the next column, advanced standards, which is optional. So the driving section at the top suggests that each of these elements is essential for maintaining quality in an e-learning program, with responsibility assigned to leadership within educational institution to ensure alignment with the organization's missions and goals. So, what are these standards? First is the existence of an e-learning strategy approved by the competent authority, published and harmonized with the plan of region. For example, institutions must have a clear e-learning strategy approved by the relevant authorities that aligns with regional educational goals. The second one is academic integrity. Like ensuring academic integrity in e-learning is crucial to prevent cheating and maintaining a fair and honest learning environment. The third one is your content responsibility. Like the institution is accountable for accuracy and the currency of the e-learning content, ensuring compliance with national regulations and policies. The fourth one is intellectual property and copyright, like which adheres to intellectual property rights and copyright laws, is essential to protect creators' rights and maintain ethical standards. Next is our fifth one is synchronous attendance. Like institutions are encouraged to recognize synchronous online attendance like virtual classes as equivalent to in-person attendance, supporting flexible learning options. Sixth one is our beneficiary satisfaction. Like there should be a mechanism to measure learners' satisfaction with the e-learning program, which can inform improvements and maintain quality. Seventh one is a resource management. Like resources should be managed responsibly following budgetary and accounting guidelines to ensure the sustainability of the e-learning program. And the last one is educate resources and support must be provided to sustain the program over time, aligned with the institution's strategic plan and vision. So each item in the table represents an area where quality standards should be applied to ensure that the e-learning program is reliable, fair, and sustainable. The checks indicate the minimum, basic, and advanced option, as I told you before. For license, minimum requirement is this one, Asasi. So now next is standards for the technology. Like this table is a guideline or checklist for implementing technology in the e-learning system, particularly focusing on the requirement necessary for licensing and quality control. So here, for example, first one is it requires providing the necessary technical infrastructure for implementing the e-learning programs. Next is over requires ensuring the privacy of users, beneficiaries through clear policies and procedures. Next is over it requires a unified and secure entry system to maintain security and cohesion. Next, requires system to verify and identify user beneficiaries likely for authentication and security purposes. And the last one is here, not last, we have more for the technology, but here in this diagram, it requires providing tools for managing learning, virtual classrooms, and electronic tests to facilitate the overall e-learning experience. So each requirement is marked as both essential and advanced, as I told you before. So essential, which are mandatory for the license to receive the license. So let's have a look in Arabic also. Okay, there are more standards for the technology. Like it should providing a data analysis system and ability to track learners' interaction with their peers. And next is like the system support different types of devices with different operating systems and screen sizes, including smartphones and tablets, providing smartphone applications for e-learning systems, the presence of an electronic alert system to alert the learner to the required task on an ongoing basis. The system provides the ability to search for a different type of digital content, and the system provides accessibility for the people with disabilities also. Okay. Next is standards for rehabilitation and support. So this table appears to detail quality standards for rehabilitation and support in e-learning, focusing on the development and training of faculty and learners. The standards are divided into two categories, again, the advanced and the essential, which are mandatory to get the license. So here, number one is program for technology and tech teaching skills. The educational institutions must have a program that prepares learner to use technology and develop teaching skills in e-learning environments. Number two, faculty training in technology and content development. Faculty members are trained in using technology, developing electronic contents, and enhancing the electronic teaching skills. Electronic portals for guidance and support, like the electronic portals is provided to offer guidance, support, and training to both learners and faculty members in various formats. Next is our technical support instructions, like cleared instructions on accessing the technical support should be provided for both faculty and students. And a continuous technical and educational assistant, like both learners and faculty members should receive ongoing technical and educational assistance throughout the duration of the program. Next is over accessibility for the people with disabilities. The institutions should ensure that the people with the disabilities have access to all e-learning and training services. Role of clarification and technicians and administrators. Institutions must provide the technicians, administrator, and other support staff clarifying their roles and responsibilities in supporting the e-learning. And supervisory staff, like it must be available to maintain oversights and quality control within the academic environment. So it's in Arabic also. Okay. So next, standards for programs. So design standards, for example, here, this table outlines a set of guidelines for designing e-learning courses broken down into specific standards within the broader design category. So each row describes design standards here. And the column, as you know, I told you already that the first is essential, mandatory to get the license, and the other one is optional, advanced. So design standards, like each standard here is given. For example, number one is clarity of digital content objectives. Like content objectives should be clearly defined. Next is consistent design for modules in page, like a standard design structure should be maintained throughout the course for consistency. Next is our universal design for learning, UDL standards. Content should follow UDL principle to support diverse learners. Next, our information should be broken down into small reusable chunks to aid understanding. Next, web content accessibility guidelines compliance. The course should meet accessibility standards. And experience API, like digital content should comply with experience API standards to track learners' activities and progress. So what are the purpose of these guidelines? Like these practices aims to create e-courses that meet educational standards, ensuring content is effective, accessible, and aligned with the educational institution's requirement. So have a look in Arabic also. Okay. Like there are more, for example, providing digital content in various forms like text, audios, and visuals, and providing the design, media, and fonts used in different sizes, colors, and formats, ensuring the quality of educational and training media and the possibility of transcribing them into text, and providing downloadable copies of all digital content used with the e-course provided that they are used in accordance with intellectual property rights, and providing an available percentage of an electronic program content to enrich the open content, and display digital content in an organized manner that makes it easy to navigate between parts, present content in a variety of educational ways and activities, and providing the learners with the ability to evaluate digital content and add comments to the content. So number first column is mandatory, and the other one is for advanced or optional. So have a look in Arabic also, just then we can continue. Okay, so here interactions, like for example, provide instructions on how to start. Interaction standards are there, like provide instructions on how to start using e-course communication policy, definition of the main section in a starting point, provide a timeline for all the steps the learner is expected to take for each electronic unit, and the content and the tools needed for each step, providing diversity in the use of synchronous and asynchronous e-learning mode, and providing mechanisms to answer learner inquiries and provide feedback on complete tasks, and providing self-assessment that enables the learner to check his progress or her progress in learning and provide him or her with feedback, providing a technical mechanism to measure learners' interactions and engagement during the e-learning. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So here, the standards for the justice and accessibility. This table describes the guidelines under the justice and accessibility category for e-learning design. It focuses on ensuring the equitable access to educational resources and tools, with each row representing a standard requirement here. So each standard is labeled here. For example, number one is number one defines the required knowledge and skills for the e-learning. So it outlines the minimum technical and knowledge requirements for the learners and the faculty to join e-learning programs. The next is our equitable access for all abilities, ensures that the program is accessible to all learners, regardless of ability, to promote inclusion. And accessible technologies and guidance. For example, it provides unnecessary accessible tools and instructions on how to access and use them. And multiple audio and visual ways, like content should be available in various formats, audio and visual, to accommodate different learning preferences and needs. So purpose of these guidelines is, for example, these standards aim to make e-learning inclusive, ensuring that the learners with diverse needs have equal access to resources, and providing flexibility in how content is accessed and consumed. In Arabic. Measurement and evaluation. So it practices that enable the learner to monitor his performance and enable the faculty members to measure the performance of learners and analyze their needs, to adapt teaching methods to these needs and measure that level of progress and educational process through all types of evaluation and feedback methods. So here are some standards, like select tools to measure learning objectives to match digital content activities and resources, clarity of e-course evaluation grading policy, provide specific and descriptive criteria linked to the grading policy for assessing learners' work and contributions, the sequence and variety of assessment tools and their suitability to the learner's work being assessed, and provide multiple opportunities for learners to measure progress in their learning process, conduct ongoing internal assessments based on national standards according to the study phase or the program. In Arabic, so first column, as I told you, this is the mandatory to get the license and the other is optional for the advance. Okay. These are the standards. Now organize the home page in the system. So here just have a look what we are having on the course home page. I'm not going to tell you that how to create assignments, announcements and all, because I have done many workshops regarding those. But just have a look here that what are the we are having on the home page, course home page here. Okay. If you want any application that how to create, then inshallah later I will do again, or I will send you a video or recorded a workshop. Just give me 1 minute for Azan. Okay. So so let's see our homepage, course homepage. As in our Blackboard system, we are having these different sections. So here homepage, for example, announcement is here, start here, course start here. As I shared the guidelines with you, like we must fill this information here, like your course information, course instructor about you, course instructor information, and contact information. So if you have filled, it's okay, great. Otherwise, you must fill these information, of course, okay, because maybe anytime from university they can verify, they can check that who have filled or not. Okay. So, and if you don't know, I already shared the video regarding this, that how to fill all this information. You should complete this. Okay. It's from your course specification. You can get the information and fill here. Inshallah, after finishing this slide, I will show you which I have filled for my course. So this homepage part 1, section 1, this announcements, and we start here about the course information, and these all are required to maintain your standards. Okay. Next is source content, sources and references, virtual lecture, and this all if you are having. The other section is for your exams and assignments and duties, groups and tools. And course tools sections, we already know about these in our Blackboard system. System content management. For example, when you go to the content, then you see this section, content creation. Okay, so you have the different options to create the content, video content, audio content, and different contents are there. So here, content, for example, this what you say, we say in Arabic, mahtwa and what. And here we are having the different options. So visual content management, for example, GNAX and this video from YouTube. If you want video, already we had many workshops regarding this. If you want, then I will conduct inshallah again. Just here, have a look at what are the different content options we are having. Readable content, for example, here your image or lesson plan and slide share presentations, all this. Audio content management, for example, voice, audio here. So managing activities in the system, for example, these activities, assignments, duties, and projects and exams also, you have to manage well all these things, groups. Managing evaluation in the systems. Okay, so also we are having the evaluation option available in our Blackboard system. And also if you want to use any other application, no problem, you can use. So assignments, duties, and projects, exams, like this. So this all we have discussed about the content management. Now assessment. Yes, for the content management, just I think here have a look here. This is, for example, this is my course. Okay, so this homepage, course homepage, and here we are having the left side start here. Okay, so when I click here, so I should write here. We should write here all this general objective of the course. Okay, so I just taken from from my course specification and then just put here. And about the instructor, for example, this is about me. Okay, we have to fill all these things. And contact information and technical support, for example, here my name or Sarah's name you can give here. And educational materials, like for example, this all in the content section. Educational materials here, from your course specification, you can take links and all books and everything, and you can put here in this section. And other, you already know that virtual lecture, about virtual lecture discussions, we already done many times, exams and groups and tools. So you have to manage your course well. Okay, whatever you are having. If you even if you are not teaching online course, then still you have to finish this first section here. Okay, and also about the assignments, I think most of you um, give assignment on Blackboard. Okay, so you have to maintain all these standards while choosing all these activities and tools. Okay, so now let's move to the next section of this workshop, which is assessment and evaluation in the e-learning management system, basic applications and tools. So evaluation and assessment, for example, in educational context, evaluation and assessment have a distinct roles. Evaluation is focused on determining the value, success, or effectiveness of something, like grading a student's works or measuring overall achievements. It's often a summative process, meaning it occurs after learning activities with the purpose of gauging of if objectives have met. Evaluation provides a verdict, like, for example, whether a student passes or fails. Okay, so it's commonly seen in traditional exams also. So assessment, however, encompasses evaluation but extends beyond it to include the potential for modification, improvement, and development. In this framework, assessment is not just about the judging outcomes, but about using those outcomes to inform ongoing improvement. This approach views the teacher's role more like that of a doctor. For example, just a doctor not only checks vitals but also diagnoses and prescribes treatment. So a teacher's role in assessment is to diagnose a learner's need and prescribe strategies for growth also. So this concept implies that educational assessment is a continuous formative process. It's not enough to simply label a student as successful or unsuccessful. Instead, assessment involves identifying where students are struggling and adjusting instructions accordingly. So evaluations, on the other hand, can be seen as a component of assessment where judgment is issued, but assessment goes further by developing plans to help learners improve based on those judgments. So let's have a look in Arabic also what I just spoken. Okay. Now there are many applications to create quizzes and evaluations. For example, we are having the Blackboard, Madrasati, Moodle, and many applications are there. Quiz, Google Docs, Google question tools editors, and Flash quiz makers, demonstration quiz maker software, hot potatoes, question writers, quiz creator, Wondershare, quiz builder, Epondus. So many applications we are having to create questions and to create evaluations and assessments. Now, there are different tools for assessment. For example, the questionnaire and the question bank, electronic exam, and the achievement files. So electronic assessment tools are there. Here in Arabic, Adawat, Stabana, and all. So just have a look. Questionnaire, we already know. Like online questionnaire is one of the methods that can be used to distribute questionnaires. Online questionnaires, which are often published on a website, are characterized by being a very quick way to display information to the visitor or target of the questionnaire and obtain answers from him or her in a short period of time. So traditional methods often require the participants in the questionnaire to make some efforts to return the questionnaire to its owner after completing it, whether by faxing it or mailing it or filling out some information in the file if it is on the computer and sending it by the email, etc. So in addition, traditional methods often take much longer than the method of publishing questionnaires electronically. But this time, very easily, very quickly, we can create the questionnaire and we can share the link and we can get the results and analysis and all. Okay. Next is our question banks, like a set of files that are stored on a computer e-learning management system or e-test software containing a huge number of test items at different levels in a specific educational field from which questions can be drawn or added. They are classified according to academic specification, educational level, education objectives that are being measured, and many of the distinct characteristics of the items, such as the difficulty of the items, the ability to distinguish them, and other characteristics. And also, we know that how to create question banks and like our evaluation form and all in Blackboard system. I have already conducted training many times regarding those. So if you want again, I will do inshallah. But now in today's workshop, my aim is to uh, let you know that what are the different standards and how to manage all these tools. Okay. So what are the features of question banks? Like providing teachers with a repertoire of questions that help them evaluate their students. Question banks allow teachers greater flexibility in the measurement process as it is easy to create tests at any time and quickly. Save teachers time and effort spent on constructing objectives, achievement test questions, and using this time to improve the teaching process. Ease of depositing additional vocabulary that can be withdrawn from when needed, depending on the size of the test program. Eliminating the program of the test confidentiality, whether when creating questions or when circulating and applying. Using questions banks help teachers compare student learning results in successive years and help determine whether the reason is due to the level of student performance or the level of difficulty of the questions. And it reduces the material cost of constructing tests. Okay. So here are some disadvantages of the question banks. There are some problems, and if these problems arise, then how you can solve the problems. Okay. So here, number one, repeating questions within a single text. Like for example, review questions banks and ensure what is the solution. Like review question banks and ensure they are free of duplicates before creating the test. Showing answers without questions or vice versa. Like make sure to write the question test in the correct place, enter the answer, and do not format the text with colors similar to background color of the page so that they appear shape and background like that. The test appears to be higher or lower than the actual test score. So make sure to put the test scores in the point box when creating it. Next is our the student grades. Student grades disappear from the teacher's interface and do not appear. So avoid checking the options to hide the result for this test entirely from the teacher and the grade center. As we know that we are having this option on the Blackboard LMS that we can hide this from students or teacher as well. Okay. So avoid checking the options to hide the results for this test entirely from the teacher and the grade center. Okay, these are in Arabic, same. Let's move to the next. Next problem, for example, the test presented through a question bank appears to students without questions. Like make sure for this, you have to make sure you choose the number of questions you want to display to students and try the test before publishing it to students to ensure the integrity. Next, students obtaining a total score that is less than a passing grade by a fraction of a grade. Avoid using partial marks when entering questions. Values in the points fields and use whole marks such as 1 or 2 marks for each question. But we can use in our Blackboard system like 0.5 like that, no problem. And poor ordering of choices if there is a more than one correct answer or if choice A and B are correct, for example. So to solve this problem, when creating such questions, avoid placing the answers randomly so that they appear as created and not randomly. And the next one is poor organization of test questions, like create more than one random block for each question type to appear more organized. In Arabic, inshallah, I will share this presentation with you all if you want to know about the standards and all. Okay, next is our next tool is our electronic exam. We already aware, we know that how to create electronic exams using Blackboard system and different applications. It is one of the computer technologies that can be employed to overcome some of the difficulties that hinder the implementation of paper test. Its characteristics include interactivity, the learner's ability to control what is presented to him or her, adjust it and control its sequence, follow up and avail options in terms of the ability to choose them and navigate between them using multiple means, for example, using text, images, drawings, videos, clips, and audio files in an electronic test. Individuality, it takes into account the individual differences between the learners by taking into account the subjectivity of each individual by giving him or her the freedom to move during the test and control the path and method of answering the test questions. Okay. So here are some advantages of electronic test, like ease of design, speed of implementation and application. Number one, first, like electronic tests are relatively simple to create and administer, allowing for a quick deployment and easy access for both students and educators. Next is our low production cost, like electronic tests are generally cheaper to produce than paper-based tests, as they don't require printing, physical distribution, etc. Objectivity and fairness of evaluation, these tests can be more objective, reducing the risk of human bias. Automated scoring ensures consistency in the evaluation. Next is our use it to measure different levels of students. Electronic text can be customized to evaluate students at various proficiency level, accommodating diverse learning needs. Next is our comprehensive, meaning it covers all parts of the curriculum. Like electronic tests can be structured to cover the entire curriculum, ensuring that the all learning areas are assessed. And extreme accuracy in evaluation and monitoring of grades, like electronic tests provide precise scoring, making it easy to track and monitor students' performance accurately over time. Next is, and last one is ability to keep a record of each student and refer to it when needed. Like uh, electronic uh, electronic systems allow for long-term storage of students' test records, making it easy to retrieve and review previous performance as needed. So these advantages collectively make electronic test an efficient, scalable, reliable method for assessing students' knowledge and skills in an educational settings. Okay. Next is problems in electronic text. So difficulty in measuring higher abilities and skills in electronic test. 1 minute. Yes. So difficulty in measuring higher abilities and skills in electronic test. Like electronic tests often struggle to assess complex skills such as critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving, which may be better evaluated through other methods. Test hardware or software must be closely monitored to avoid failures during testing. Like electronic tests rely heavily on technology, and any issues with hardware or software can disrupt the testing process and requiring careful monitoring. Students need sufficient skills and experience in technology. So, for electronic tests to be effective, students need to be comfortable and proficient with the necessary technology. Otherwise, their performance may not accurately reflect their knowledge or skills. Next is about the teacher needs to be trained in method of implementing and administering test. So teachers also require training to effectively create, administer, and manage electronic tests, as it involves different skills compared to traditional testing. And other skills play a role in students' grade, like factors typing speed or familiarity with digital interfaces may impact students' performance on electronic tests, potentially affecting their grades beyond their actual knowledge of the subject. Next is our inability to ensure academic integrity in test performance, like ensuring honesty during electronic tests can be challenging as students may find ways to cheat or bypass security measures. So, not suitable for some people with special needs, like electronic tests may not be accessible to all students, particularly those with the certain disabilities, unless specific accommodations are made. So these challenges highlight the limitations and considerations that educators need to address when using electronic test. In Arabic, okay. So let's move to the next diagram, which is the stages of designing electronic test. So this diagram outlines a structured process for developing educational content or e-learning materials, often referred to as an instructional design or content creation process. So here, for example, number one is analysis phase. So what you do in analysis phase, like this is an initial stage where the goals, target audience, and content requirements are identified. It involves understanding the need, skills, and knowledge gaps of a learner to determine what should be taught. Next is our design phase. Like in this phase, the content is planned and organized, and the instructional strategy is chosen, and materials such as lesson plans, activities, assessments are designed to align with learning objectives. Third one is of production stage. Like in this stage, it involves the actual creation of content based on the design. It may include developing multimedia elements like videos, presentations, interactive quizzes, and documents to make learning engaging. Next is our publishing stage. Like when the content is created, now it is going to publish or uploaded to a learning platform or distributed to learners. So this stage ensures that the content is accessible and ready for learners to use. Next, our application phase. Like in this phase, learners engage with the content in a real world or classroom settings. This involves delivering the training or instructions to the intended audience and facilitating their learning process. This process ensures, so and next, yes, last one is the evaluation stage. So the final stage involves assessing the effectiveness of the content and the learning outcome, and feedback is collected, which may lead to revisions of contents, the delivery methods, or your assessment to improve future learning experiences. So this process ensures that content is systematically developed and effectively delivered and continuously improved for better educational outcome. In Arabic, see these stages. Okay. Next and last, this is the electronic achievement file, an electronic record or portfolio to collect the best distinguished works of a student or a teacher, including lessons, lectures, projects, and exercises. In a course or group of courses, the components of the file vary from one student to another and from one teacher to another, depending on their educational philosophy. In organizing the file, displaying these works depends on multimedia, including audio, text, video clips, still images, graphs, and presentations, navigations, and the components of the file is done using electronic links, and it can be published on the internet or on the CD. So basically, it is what it is. It is your portfolio. Okay, you can. There are many various of applications available where you can create your portfolio. You can upload your CV, your work experience, your like projects and everything. You can upload there, and you can share the single link to the other people. Okay, so I think I have already conducted one workshop regarding this, that how to create portfolio using Google application and all. So if you want again, then inshallah I will do. But for now, so what is the concept of electronic achievement file here? So basically it is, for example, an e-portfolio allows students to gather their top projects, assignments, and other work that demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and growth in specific courses or subjects. Okay. And for teachers, for example, teacher can use e-portfolios to organize and showcase lesson plans, your lectures, your projects, and teaching materials. And also, you can also reflect your teaching methods and document professional development. So you can publish your portfolio. It can be published online, making them accessible from any location with an internet connection. So it can also be saved to the physical media such as CDs or offline access. And online publication all allows students and teachers to share their portfolio with peers, educators, and your interviewers and your potential employers or family members, are providing a platform to showcase your accomplishments and skills. So very important this is to create portfolio. So I don't know how many of you have created portfolio already, but if not, then it is recommended to create the portfolio and teach your students also. So here, As I conclude this workshop, I hope you feel empowered with new insights and practical skills for effectively managing e-learning courses. So we have covered the foundational aspects of e-course components, from organizing the homepage and managing content to handling activities and evaluations. By implementing these best practices and standards, you can create an engaging, efficient, and learner-centered environment that promotes success. So remember that a well-structured e-learning course does more than deliver information. It provides a seamless experience that supports student engagement, learning outcomes, and continuous improvement. As you apply these tools and strategies in your courses, keep in mind the importance of flexibility and adaptability to meet the diverse needs of learners. So here I finish my presentation. I conclude. If you have any question, you can ask me, and let me share the link for evaluation and attendance. And for certificate, I will share inshallah tomorrow, because it is not ready yet for certificate link. But I request you all fill the attendance form, which I am going to share with you. Okay. Meanwhile, if you are having any issue, any question, you can ask me. Yes, I have shared here links, evaluation form, which is in both language, English and Arabic, whatever you prefer, you can fill. And the other one is attendance form. Okay, so just please fill these both link and forms. And inshallah, certificate link I will share tomorrow with the participants who have attended. Thank you everyone for your participation today. Please be sure that you have filled attendance form or not, because I will share the certificate link with those people only.